It is one of my favorite times of year. It is watermelon picking season. A couple of months ago, we planted our watermelons, and now it's time to pick them. And I'm gonna go through the telltale signs so that you know exactly when you can be picking your watermelons. Choosing the right variety of watermelons is going to be vital in the success of how you're actually growing your watermelons. Now, depending on your climate, your growing season, and what zone you're in, there's gonna be a lot of different types of watermelons that are gonna be best for you. We're in a zone 7, and some of the watermelons that we like to grow here are going to be Sugar Babies, Crimson Sweets, and Charleston Gray. So let's break down what those actually are. The Sugar Baby is going to be a smaller variety of watermelon. It's a nice sweet watermelon, and it's really great for if you have a smaller area that you're gardening in, say something like a garden bed, if you're more in an urban setting, or anywhere that you just want to have a smaller variety. The Crimson Sweet is going to be a large, juicy, and sweet fruit. It's really common for home gardeners. And then our Charleston Gray is going to be more of an oblong shape. It's still going to be a nice, sweet, and juicy fruit, but definitely just a funner size. There's also a lot of different types of watermelons, so you're definitely going to want to do some research in your zone and what's best to be grown there. In this setting behind me is our watermelon patch. So we started off in this nice 4x8 bed, and it just overflowed completely out of it. Last year we actually had a lot of little animals coming in and trying to eat our watermelons, so we wanted to make sure that they were nice and protected this year, which is why we have this netting over it. But time is really going to be crucial when you're growing watermelons. They're going to take around 80 to 90 days to grow, so that's around 3 months to grow. So you want to make sure that you're getting them in at a good time and you're really letting them grow for a long enough time. And then once that time has lapsed, there's going to be 5 true telltale signs to know that your fruit is actually ready. So let's go over what those actually are. I'm gonna go ahead and start to uncover this bed so that we can go ahead and investigate whether our watermelons are ready as we talk about the 5 telltale signs. And the first one, and probably the most common, is going to be the size of your watermelon. Now, you definitely want to look into the variety of your watermelon because you're not always gonna have a large watermelon. Say if you are growing a smaller variety, size may not play as into it as much as if you're growing a larger variety of watermelon. For example, here we're actually growing the same watermelons in this patch as well as the other patch, but they are a lot younger, so they're obviously a lot smaller, as you can see, compared to this one. Now, the next telltale sign that you can do just looking at your watermelon is going to be observing the color of your watermelon. Once it goes from a shiny color to a more dull look, that's definitely a really good sign that your watermelon is much riper and ready to be picked. Okay, so here are our watermelons. You can see we have a nice big one here accompanied by a smaller one, so we can go ahead and compare these two. So the first thing that you want to look for is, again, looking for the color of it, making sure that it's a duller color, it's not super shiny. Then we're going to go ahead, flip it over, and look at its field spots. So you want to make sure that you're looking for a creamy yellow color. So this is definitely a good color here that we're looking at, as opposed to a more white or vibrant color. So that's a really good sign. The next sign that we're going to do, the next test that we're going to do, is actually called the Thump Test. So we're going to go ahead, knock on our watermelon, and if we hear a high-pitched sound, that means that it's not going to be ready, whereas we hear a lower-pitched sound, that it's definitely going to be more ripe. So let's go ahead and test them out. This one is definitely ready sounding. This one over here definitely has a higher pitch, so this one is not ready. It's also a lot smaller, so that's obviously not ready. The next really good sign that you can tell if your watermelon's ready is by the tendrils. So over here, you're gonna see that there's a nice dried tendril. This means that it's definitely ready to be picked. So what we're gonna go ahead and do, it's passed all of our signs to show that it's ripe. So we're gonna go ahead and cut about an inch off, or you can cut close to the stem, and we're gonna go ahead and harvest this guy. Oh, we've gone ahead and harvested this. Now let's go ahead, cut it open, and do a nice trying of our watermelon to see how good she tastes. Oh, we went ahead and got our watermelon. I hosed it down a little bit so it's a little bit cleaner. Now we're gonna cut open and taste this baby up. Okay. Oof. Let's see here. gosh, she looks good. Let's try it. Oh my gosh, this is so delicious. I'm so happy we waited to share our first watermelon picking of the season with you. I hope this was helpful and it helped you understand the best time to harvest your watermelon. Go enjoy your watermelon and we'll see you guys again next time. Bye. Here we go.